Please download this video for evidence against youth liberation. Yesterday, I found a channel called Youth Liberation, which was filled to the brim with content that was embracing pedophilia. I exposed this channel, and immediately it got flagged for inappropriate content for bullying and harassment. Now, when I was given a strike on my channel, he wasn't given one at all. His content was still up. And then eventually he deleted it because all the controversy I spread around it. But still, YouTube striked my channel and took down my video for criticizing pedophilia. And kept his video up and didn't strike his channel, which embraced pedophilia. That really shows YouTube's priorities, doesn't it? So, according to YouTube, pedophilia is okay to embrace on YouTube. You just are not allowed to criticize it. How freaked is that? That is messed up. Now, the video that I'm about to show you is the one that was taken down. I'm going to tone it down a bit, make sure there's absolutely no bullying, and I'm also going to give this disclaimer. What I say is not intent to bully. I am just trying to say how he's wrong about pedophilia and how pedophilia is damaging and is not a good thing like he states it is. In other words, this is an educational video. It's meant for education. It's not meant to bully or harass. Okay, understand, YouTube? Please don't strike me again.
Everyone knows from their own experience as a child that children are sexual beings.
Oh God, this dude is sick. He's talking about children here. He said children. He's not talking about 17-year-olds. He's talking about freaking children being sexual beings. That is ridiculous.
While I speak, who wants to estimate the number of people under their country's age of consent who are masturbating or watching pornography, fantasizing about sex while in school?
Look, kids start masturbating around the age of 13. That's fine because masturbation is relatively safe, but sex is not. Because sex requires risk. It requires the risk of getting raped. It requires the risk of spreading disease, having children, and being taken advantage of. None of these things children are ready for, so they shouldn't be having sex until they're much, much older. You want to throw all these things to the wind because you want to take advantage of them. You're one of the predators that I was mentioning before. You are not a good person.
It's time to face the reality. Then we can create the world we all want deep down, one where having sex and making art become priorities.
So your whole goal is to not work and to have sex with children. I'm going to be honest with you, dude. You belong in freaking prison.
There are millions of examples of people under the age of consent who've consented to sexual acts and had a great time. But I'll use famous people's experiences, otherwise people will claim it's made up, invented by my perverse mind, which in fact is just presenting the truth. German TV star George Gazoles, at 13, had his first boyfriend and sexual experience with a man of 21. George had lied that he was 16 because he wanted this so much. British Academy Award-winning actress Kate Winslet had a 5-year love-filled relationship with a male colleague in 1991 when she was 15. He was 13 years older than her. American actor George Hamilton slept with his stepmother at age 12. I was molested, he said. Damn, I'm down for it again. They met by chance when he was an adult and had sex once more. The powers that be would make masturbation illegal if they could, but they can't. The age of consent is nothing more than an attack on pleasure, on the immediate experience of the individual. It's disempowering, suppressive, and a method of control.
Yeah, it's a power grab. It's a power grab to make sure predators like you can't take advantage of children. It's a good power grab. If people like you had it your way, you'd be fucking children in diapers.
Do you think governments care about child exploitation? The same governments who bomb hundreds of thousands of children care about forced prostitution in foreign countries or forced pornography? Forget it.
Look, I hate the goddamn government more than you, and I don't agree with you. I think consent laws are good, and they were made by the average Joe. I think you're just trying to take advantage of children for your own sexual pleasure. But what do I know? A lot. I know a lot.
With an all-encompassing sex education, the young will know how to take appropriate steps to be safe and comfortable. They'll know their body belongs to themselves and that they've every right to say yes or no. Sex is fun, enriching, enlightening, and it feels so good. Who is anyone to tell someone else they're forbidden to partake just because they're small?
Do you think a 13-year-old with a kid is having a good time? I don't. Do you think a kid that's 13 years old with a disease because you had sex with them is having a good time? Probably not. What about a young girl who's 13 who puts herself out there and got raped? Do you think she is having a good time? Probably not.
We don't restrict the child's right to eat candy and cake just because high sugar intake can increase the risk of obesity, diabetes, and tooth decay. Everything in moderation.
Okay, here's this ideal world that you want. Imagine you have an 8-year-old kid. You send him off to school, and 3 of the 40-year-old teachers that are at the school tried fucking your kid in the butt because it's consequence-free. That is disgusting. They would use their high intellect to take advantage of your kid sexually. That is appalling to me. The fact that you want that is absolutely asinine.
It's not like a small child will be damaged from sexual acts that are appropriate from their age and gentle. It's not like a roller coaster seat that the child will fall out of and die. Their body functions properly for them to engage in certain sexual acts. With that analogy continued, once the child fits safely into the roller coaster seat, they're given permission to consent to go on it. There's a chance the ride could have a fatal crash, or get stuck upside down, or be more intense than the child estimated. But they're able to consent. Why should sex be any different?
So let me get this straight. You admit that they might consent at first, then they might hate it halfway through, but it would just continue on anyways, and you're saying, oh, well, they consented in the beginning, so it's A-okay. No, at that point, you just raped them. If they wanted you to stop and you continued on anyways, you enjoy going to prison and getting butt screwed by a guy named Bubba who's 3 times bigger than you. No? So a child probably wouldn't want to be butt screwed by a guy that's 3 times bigger than him. Now this predator just came out with a new video. You won't believe it. Okay, he made a sex education video for little freaking kids, dude. And it says parentheses, how to be a good lover. Now this video obviously teaches adults and children how to be good lovers to each other. That is sickening. I can't believe my barely controversial ass isn't allowed on YouTube, but this motherfucker is. This is ridiculous. This guy shouldn't be allowed on YouTube. He belongs in a jail cell. Now, don't worry. This content doesn't show any pornographic images of children or adults. This is just, it just shows pictures of butterflies and bees while he's describing sexual acts. I really don't want this shit in my video, but I gotta compile evidence against this motherfucker so we could convict him. It's really hard to convict this guy because he freaking deleted all the controversial videos he made. Luckily, some of the controversial videos are in this video that you've already seen, that you just watched. And luckily, I grabbed this video that I'm about to show you now, and this hopefully is enough to convict the fucker. Now, there was this video that I wish I got before he deleted it, where he states that he's willing to die over this shit. That is scary. Okay, remember to download this video as evidence against him so we can convict him. Okay, this video that I'm about to show is him stating how to have sex with children. It's an instructional video on how to have sex with children. This should convict him. Now, download the video now, and I suppose I have to show this, even though I don't want to. Alright, here we go.
How to be a good lover. Rule 1, softly softly. It is important to be very, very tender, careful, soft and gentle, especially in the beginning. Too many boys and girls are clumsy and so their touch is too rough. They kiss too hard and suddenly and too long. Remember how sensitive the skin of our love parts is, lips and mouth, the glands of the penis and the clitoris and vagina. So gentle does it. How to be a good lover. Rule 2, wet works. Must realize that a boy can have a very sensitive foreskin or glands and that wetness is the best remedy for that. It is always a good idea to have non-penetrative sex for a while, to experiment with each other during a certain period of time before going all the way. Then you can talk about any difficulties arising from dry or sensitive skin. How to be a good lover. Rule 3. Comfort. It is very important to feel comfortable. To enjoy what you are doing requires knowing what you are doing. Many people think that is very romantic, to lose yourself in a flurry of passion, to fall in love and forget about being sensible. They grope and fumble in the dark. They squeeze and pull without really paying attention to what they are doing. They close their eyes and lose themselves. They come too quickly.
Okay, this is absolutely sickening. This guy belongs in prison, and I hope I aid in getting him there. Now, I don't feel right asking you to subscribe and all that, so I'm just going to end it here. Alright, guys. Later.